Something big is happening, a war, and it's not by chance. It's the biggest attack Israel has faced in 50 years since a war called the Yom Kippur War in 1973. This war in 1973 was a shocker. It came out of nowhere and changed Israel forever. Now, we're seeing a similar situation. Israel is under attack again, but this time by a group called Hamas. The big question, is history repeating itself? Did anyone see this coming? We have got to find out. Let's take a step back to the past. In 1967, Israel surprised its neighbors with an attack. They won and took over some land, including parts of Palestine. 6 years later, in 1973, Egypt and Syria surprised Israel with an attack. Israel was caught off guard. Imagine celebrating a holiday and out of nowhere an attack happens. It's unbelievable, right? Well, that's what happened in 1973. Israel faced a tough time at first, but they fought back and the war ended without a clear winner. Still, Israel was left shocked, wondering how they didn't see it coming. Fast forward to today, and we are asking similar questions. Why didn't Israel see this coming? Hamas has tried different things before, like rockets and suicide bombs, but this time they did something bigger and bolder. Israel, a country with a strong intelligence network, was caught off guard. But why? We'll uncover the story behind the Israel-Hamas conflict piece by piece. We'll explore why Hamas attacked Israel and what Hamas really is, and what are the consequences of the surprise attack mean for everyone involved. Let's get started. Part 1. Why did Hamas attack Israel? To understand why Hamas launched a sudden and massive attack on Israel, we need to rewind the clock and examine the factors at play. This is a puzzle with pieces that connect back to history, politics, and the deeply rooted conflicts in the region. First, let's consider the broader context. The Middle East has been a hotspot for tensions with Israel and Palestine in the heart of it all. Over the years, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict has led to a deep-seated grievances and hostilities on both sides. Hamas, which controls the Gaza Strip, is driven by an ideology that calls for the destruction of Israel and the establishment of an Islamic state in the region. This fundamental goal has put them in direct opposition to Israel. Now let's delve into the specifics of this conflict. Israel, with its superior military and intelligence capabilities, has maintained strict control over Gaza and the West Bank, territories that Palestine consider their own. This control has led to a frustration and anger among Palestinians, with many feeling oppressed and marginalized. In this volatile environment, Hamas has positioned itself as a resistance force against what it sees as Israeli occupation. The recent attack, however, goes beyond the usual tensions. It's vital to note that the timing of this assault was significant. It occurred on Yom Kippur, one of the holiest days in the Jewish calendar, a time when Israelis were celebrating. This element of surprise was a strategic move by Hamas, aiming to catch Israel off guard when they least expected it. The scale of the attack, with thousands of rockets launched, was a clear message from Hamas. It was a statement of defiance, a declaration that they could challenge Israel's military might. But why now? One possible explanation lies in the frustration felt by Palestinians. Peace talks have reportedly stalled, and the situation in Gaza has been dire, with limited access to basic necessities and a struggling economy. The people of Gaza have endured hardship for years, and this may have fueled support for Hamas's aggressive stance. In the complex web of politics, ideology, and regional dynamics, it's essential to remember that the reasons behind this attack are multifaceted. It's not just a matter of one side versus the other, but a culmination of historical grievances, political ambitions, and the desperation of people seeking change. Part 2. Who is Hamas? How was it formed? To truly grasp the essence of the ongoing Israel-Hamas conflict, we must first acquaint ourselves with the enigmatic entity known as Hamas and trace its origins back to the turbulent pages of history. Imagine a group that wears multiple masks, part political party, part military organization. That's what Hamas is. But how did it come to be, and what drives its actions? Hamas, officially known as the Islamic Resistance Movement, emerged in 1987, but its roots extend further into the Palestinian struggle against Israeli occupation. The man behind its formation was Sheikh Ahmed Yassin, a Palestinian scholar and cleric. Picture a time when Palestinian territories, including the Gaza Strip, were under Israeli control and the people were grappling with a sense of oppression. Yassin believed that resistance was the only way forward. The year 1987 marked the beginning of a tumultuous period known as the First Uprising. It was a series of violent protests and attacks against Israeli forces. Hamas played a pivotal role during this uprising, catapulting itself into the forefront of the Palestinian movement. The charter, drafted in 1988, lays out a clear agenda: the destruction of Israel and the establishment of an Islamic State in historic Palestine. This uncompromising stance has put them in direct confrontation with Israel and has led to their classification as a terrorist organization by many countries. Over the years, Hamas has evolved into a multifaceted organization with a complex structure. While it portrays itself as a political party, its military wing remains active and carries out attacks against Israel. This duality presents a unique challenge for those seeking to understand and engage with Hamas. Countries like Qatar, Turkey, and Iran have provided support to Hamas, albeit to various degrees. Qatar, for instance, offered substantial financial backing, while Turkey provides political support. Iran, on the other hand, stands as Hamas's foremost benefactor, supplying not only funds but also weapons and military training. This intricate web of alliances underscores the complexity of the Israel-Hamas conflict, where regional and global dynamics intersect. The story of Hamas is one of ideological fervor and political maneuvering, and it forms an integral part of the larger narratives that shapes the Middle East today. Part 3: Repercussions of the surprise attack by Hamas on Israel. Israel has declared war. Israel has vowed to destroy all the hideouts of Hamas in the Gaza Strip. The aftermath of Hamas's surprise assault on Israel has been nothing short of devastating, with severe implications rippling across the region. The toll on human life has been unbearable, with hundreds of casualties and widespread destruction. Innocent civilians on both sides of the conflict bear the brunt of this violence, as the international community watches with growing concern. Protests erupted worldwide, demanding an end to the bloodshed, and diplomatic endeavors are underway to negotiate a ceasefire. Yet, the situation remains precarious and the path to peace remains elusive. In this ever-evolving conflict between Israel and Hamas, it is essential to remember that the impact extends far beyond the battlefield. The lives of countless individuals, from innocent civilians to brave soldiers, are forever altered by this ongoing struggle. We hope that the war comes to an end soon. Thank you for watching.